Greetings everyone, I hope you're well. This video is coming to you after the weekend, so it's been a few days and I hope you're well. I hope you've had a good weekend. We're able to get outside some, walk around, enjoy some of the sunshine. We are in the midst of stay-at-home, shelter-in-place. I just saw on my own email that the commissioners voted to stay at home a little bit longer until May 15th. Which means at least 3 more weeks. So things can get hard, can feel hard and be difficult. And so if you are feeling the pressure, if you are feeling stressed about being at home, about being with your kids all the time, or having to homeschool, or just wanting to get out of the house and cannot, I encourage you to find someone to talk to. Find someone you trust, whether it is a sister, a brother, a friend, your husband, and just talk. Talk about what happened. Talk about how it made you feel. And talk about maybe what's the hardest part. I'm going to write those 3 questions for you, but just maybe have a conversation with someone you trust and ask them, or have them ask you, tell them what happened. What is being so hard? What's so difficult right now? And then how did that situation make you feel? And what is the hardest part? What was the hardest part? We are in a unique situation, and none of us have been through something like this, and so it is okay to feel big feelings and feel big emotions, and we need to talk about them. And here are 3 easy questions, 3 good questions that maybe you can answer for yourself. You can write them out, or better yet, talk to someone and have them ask you these questions, or just tell them these questions. And just work your way through the questions as you have a conversation with that person. And be a good friend and ask them these 3 questions as well. Again, those are what happened in that situation, or you can talk about the stay-at-home in general, or maybe there's a specific thing at home that's causing you stress or anxiety. Talk about what happened. How did it make you feel? Or how does this stay-at-home order make you feel? And what is the hardest part? What is the hardest part? The more you can talk about it, the more you can get out some of those feelings that can be hard to hold in, the better you will feel, and the better your relationships will be. Just some free information for you. Take it if you like, but these are some helpful questions for you if you want to begin to think about and maybe talk about some of the things going on for you. And as always, if there is no one you can talk to, you can reach out to me, you can text me, you can call me, and we can chat about what's going on. So, leaving that, let's talk about some English. Today we're going to be on page 108, and that is a review of Units 7 and 8. And so what that's going to look like is there's a listening thing we'll do, and then there is a section on grammar where you will need to fill out some answers, and then you'll have to choose the correct form of the verb, and then in section 3 there is some questions to make. And so I will, in a minute, when we get started, I will play those for you. Before we start, however, just want to review a couple of things so that you can be set up to answer all the questions. So what's going to happen is I'm going to explain the review questions and how to make questions, and then I'm going to play the audio for section 1, and then you will need to do section 2 and 3 on your own. And then in the second half of this video, we will review the answers to those. So you're going to have to, in a minute, after I play the audio, pause and then complete the rest of the exercise before watching the rest, so that you can do the work yourself, practice yourself, so that you get the actual practice rather than just me telling you the answers. So let's review questions real quick. The WH questions. What, who, when, why, or sometimes how. What questions usually are asking for information, like what is your name? Who questions ask for a person. Who are you talking to? Who are you going to the prom with? Things like that. When is talking about time. When is lunch? When is breakfast? When is bedtime? Very important in my house, because getting kids to sleep is very good. Why is the reason. Why are you late? I am late because there was traffic. Not really, not today, because no one's driving these days. And how is a lot of times can be used in several different ways, but maybe the way something is. We'll talk a little bit more about how the way something is, the way something is done, something to that extent. So that's a quick review of our WH questions that we will use in section 3. So, if you remember, if we have a sentence, the boy is listening. But we want to know more about the boy. We want to know the boy. We want to know the boy's name. So, if we want to start a question, we're going to start with who. Now this is the tricky part we have to remember. When we're making a question, the verb moves in front of the subject so that who is the boy. Or if we want to know what the boy is listening to, we would say what. Again, we want to move the verb in front of the subject. So what is the boy listening to? Right? So here's the big thing. You're going to start your question with what or who, and then move the verb from your sentence in front of the subject, and then complete whatever information you're asking for. So, to review the instructions for page 108, so for number 1, section 1, I'm going to play a story, and you feel free to listen to the story as many times as you want. You can just rewind the video a little bit, but you can listen to the story as many times, complete section 1, and you're going to be listening for job skills for an electronics store, and then the job skills for a restaurant. In section 2, you're completing the story of Joni's problem, and you're choosing the correct form of the verb or adjective. We're going to be choosing between the present perfect and the present perfect continuous, and also between the right adjective, ed adjectives, and ing adjectives. If you need to remember a reminder of those, please go back and listen to one of the previous videos. The Unit 8 review is a good good video to watch because it has everything all there together in that one video. And then section B of part 2, that's where you're going to be asking, writing the questions to answer the answer they give you. So let's look at part B, number 1. So you look at part has A and B. For part B, it says Joni wants to return her scanner. So they have underlined her scanner. Your job is to choose a question to ask about her scanner using the information they give you in the sentence. So what information do they give you in the sentence? They give you Joni, the person. So it's Joni's scanner. And the action that she wants to do is to return it, right? So that's all the clues I'm going to give you right now, and we'll talk about it more after a little bit when we go to the answers. So I'm going to now play for you the audio for part 1, and again, feel free to, after you listen to it once and write down the answers, stop the video, rewind the video, and listen to it again, and you can listen to it as many times until you get it. And then after we do that, go ahead and complete section 2, parts A and B. And when I come back, we will go with all the answers together. All right, we'll see you soon.
Review, Units 7 and 8, page 108, Exercise 1.
Good evening, class. I've invited 2 business owners to our class to describe job skills that are important for their businesses. I'd like to introduce Len Sullivan, the owner of Sullivan's Electronics, and Cora Zimmer, the owner of Zimmer's Restaurant. First, let's hear from Mr. Sullivan.
Thanks. It's a pleasure to be here. So, talking about job skills, I would say that first and most importantly, my employees need to have good communication skills. That's true for the salespeople on the floor as well as the ones working in customer service. And at the same time, I expect my people to be good listeners. I've been working in this business for 25 years, and I've hired a lot of people in that time. And I can tell you, my best employees are the ones who really know how to listen to customers and respond to their needs. And now the third important skill is that my employees need to be good problem solvers. They have to deal with all sorts of problems every day, and I expect them to work things out and find good solutions.
Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. Now, let's listen to Ms. Zimmer and find out what skills are important in the restaurant business.
Thank you so much for inviting me. One important skill my employees need is to manage their time effectively. Restaurant work is very fast-paced and exhausting, so the waiters and also the cooks have to be good time managers. Another important job skill for my employees is good communication skills, just as Mr. Sullivan said. I want my employees to understand instructions and also be able to talk to our customers. Finally, I need employees who can train others in their job duties.
Thank you both. I know the class is very interested in your comments. And now, I'd like to open this up for questions. Class, do you have questions that you would like to ask?
Okay, welcome back. I hope you've had a few minutes to listen to that. So let's go over our answers to our listening. In the book, they give you the first job skill for the electronics store, good communication skills. Okay? And the second one you were listening for was good listening skills. And the third, good problem-solving skills. Good. So these are the 3 job skills for the electronics store. Let's now look at the job skills for the restaurants. Arrange so that you can write and you can see. I will move it so you can see in just a minute. So the first skill for the restaurant was good time management skills. Do you remember why? It's because the restaurant is a fast-paced environment and you have to always attend or try to meet the customers' expectations and get their food to them in time before it's cold and meet whatever they're asking for. So good time management. Also, like the electronics store, good communication skills, and lastly, the ability to train others. So, here we go. I'm going to move my face out of the way. Now you can see. Okay, let's go over our paragraph now. I've written it out on the board, and I'll move it so that we can be able to read it. Let's start out. Joni is at an electronics store. She has been talking with the clerk in customer service for the past 15 minutes. So, they gave you the answer. The correct answer is the present perfect continuous because she has been talking for 15 minutes and it's an ongoing conversation that has not finished yet. All right, let's continue. She wants to return a scanner. We told her she could exchange the scanner. However, Joni blinked at scanners for several months. Okay, let's take it there. Joni blinked at scanners for several months. Okay, so it's an event that started in the past. She started looking in the past, and she has not made up her mind yet. So it is an ongoing action. So we're going to choose the present perfect continuous, which would then has been looking. Has been looking at scanners for the past several months, and she still blinked another one that she likes. So at this point, up to this point, she has not made her decision, right? And so in this sense, it's a completed action because she is now at the store and her looking is finished for the moment. And so it's a completed action. So we're going to use the present perfect, hasn't found. Here we are. Right, hasn't found. She wants a refund. The clerk, blank, his manager this minute to see if Joni can get a refund. So, again, the context does not say it's an ongoing conversation, but it is an action that we did and now it's completed, so we're going to again use the present perfect. So he has just called. Has just called. But the manager is not in his office. The situation is frustrating or frustrated. We're describing the situation. So we're going to say frustrating. and she's tired and wants to go home. Tired because we're now describing the way she feels. So in the first example, we're describing the way the situation, which is frustrating, and now in the last one, we're describing the way she feels, and that's tired. So there are the answers. Now, let's look at part B of section 2 and the questions you needed to answer from the answers they gave you. So let's look at part B, number 1. So they have A is the question you need to write, and B is the information they give you to write that answer. So Joni wants to return her scanner. And you want to know more information about the scanner. So for number 1, what we're looking for is we're going to ask a what question, what, because it is not a be verb. So with be verbs, is, are, was, were, am, that would come next, but we have a regular verb, wants, or not a be verb, an action verb, wants. So instead of wants, we're going to put what does, and then Joni want to return. What does Joni want to return? Now that I've done number 1 for you, maybe pause the video for a second and take a second and go back and review your answers before we go on and see if there's any minor adjustments that you can make or minor corrections you can make to your answers so that it matches more of what we have here. All right, go ahead and pause. All right, now that we're back, I didn't really pause. Haha. Let's do number 2. All right, Joni has been talking to the clerk for 15 minutes. And the question is, they want to know is how long? Okay, so the verb is has been talking. Instead of supplying or adding does, we're going to move the has in front of Joni. How long has Joni been talking to the clerk? A good hint, clue that we're going to talk about how long is the fact that they said for 15 minutes. It gives us a time, a length of time, so that's a good clue that we're going to think about how long. So number 3, the customer service clerk says that she can exchange the scanner. So this one, we're talking about a customer service clerk, so we're talking about a person. So we're going to say, who says she can exchange the scanner. Finally, number 4, Joni went to the store on Saturday afternoon. So Saturday afternoon is underlined, that is a time. So we're going to use a when question. When we don't have a complex verb, which means it has helping verbs with it. So, and it's not a be verb, so this one we're going to add did, because we're talking about also in the past, because we're talking about went. When did Joni go to the store? When did Johnny go to the store? Okay. So when did, so if you remember back, this becomes present, and this did shows the past tense. So when did Johnny go to the store? Did go. Okay. I admit questions are hard, especially with this type of exercise, but I hope this was helpful for you and a good practice for you to remember how to make questions, because it's been a while. Take some time, practice some more questions, and in our next video we will start Unit 9. I look forward to seeing you then, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk soon. Bye, friends.